What's going on, guys? Preston here from Preston Vlogging Gaming. Welcome back. This is part 3 of phones I'm looking at buying. That are higher end. So yeah, now we're gonna do Motorola phones. On Motorola phones, it's different. This is different from Motorola phones. So yeah. So on my list for Motorola phones, I got the Moto G Power 25, the Moto G Stylus 25. The Moto G Stylus 24, and the Moto G Power 24. These 4 phones on my list for the Motorola phones. Now, these phones are $300 and $400, but my phone carrier has them cheaper though. So yeah, let's get started. The Motorola G Power 2025. Available February 6, 2025. IP68/69 water resistant display. IPS LCD 120Hz refresh rate, screen size 6.8 inches, resolution 1080. So Motorola, the G series, they have this feature called peak display. It's not always on this. It's not always on display. It's peak display that they got. OS, it came with Android 15 after 2 major OS upgrades. So this phone will get up to Android 17. Chipset MediaTek Dimensity 6300. Micro SD card expansion. Internal storage 120 gigabytes. 8 gigabytes of RAM. Main camera only records at 1080p at 30 fps. Selfie camera only 1080p 30 fps. Has stereo speakers. Has a headphone jack. USB-C. Side mounted fingerprint sensor. 5,000 milliamp battery. 30 watt wireless charging. 50 watt wireless charging. That's for that phone. I type in the other phone next for the second G Power I'm looking at. This is the Motorola G Power 24. Available March 22nd, 2024. This does not have an IP rating on it. It's also water repellent. Display IPS LCD 120Hz refresh rate. Screen size 6.7 inches. Resolution 1080. OS it came with Android 14. Now this phone will only it just got Android 15, so it's not gonna get any more OS upgrades anymore. But it will get security patches for 3 or 4 years. Chipset MediaTek Dimensity 7020. Micro SD card expansion. Internal storage 120 gigabytes of storage. 8 gigabytes of RAM. Main camera only records in 1080p at 30 fps. Selfie camera at 1080p 30 fps only. Stereo speakers, headphone jack, has a headphone jack, USB-C, side mounted fingerprint sensor, 5,000 mAh battery, 30 watt wire charging, 50 watt wireless charging. Now for the Moto G Stylus 25. Available April 17, 25. IP68 dust water resistant. AMOLED display. 120 Hz refresh rate. Screen size 6.7 inches. Resolution 1220. Has peak display. OS, it came with Android 15, and it'll get up to Android 17, and then it'll be done with software. Chipset, Snapdragon 6 Gen 3. Micro SD card expansion, internal storage, 256 gigabytes, RAM, 8 gigabytes of RAM. Main camera 4K, selfie camera 4K. Stereo speakers, headphone jack, USB-C, under display fingerprint sensor, 5,000 mAh battery, 68 watt wire charging, 15 watt wireless charging. The Moto G Stylus 24. Available May 30th, 2024. This does not have an IP rating on it. It's only water repellent. PLO display, 120Hz refresh rate. Screen size 6.7 inches. Resolution 1080. It came with Android 14. It'll only get Android 15, but it'll get 3 or 4 years of security patches. Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 processor. Micro SD card expansion. Internal storage 120 gigabytes. Now the RAM It depends on your carrier you have, or if you get it off on Motorola.com. Because this says 4 gigabytes RAM, 8 gigabytes of RAM for both of them, so it depends. Main camera 4K, selfie camera 4K, stereo speakers. It has a headphone jack, USB-C, under the display fingerprint reader, 5,000 mAh battery, 30-watt wire charging, 50-watt wireless charging. So yeah, that's for the Motorola phones. Now, my carrier has the Motorola G Power 2025 for $125. And my carrier has the Motorola G Stylus 24 for $155. The Moto G Stylus 25 hasn't come to carriers yet. So if you want, so I have to, if I want it, I have to get it off their website. The G Power off Motorola.com unlocked is $370. The G Stylus 25 off Motorola.com is about $470. The G Stylus 24 off Motorola.com is about between like is like $360. The G Power 24 on Motorola.com is about $361 on Motorola.com. That's for the 2 years of accidental protection for if you like break it or whatever on Motorola. So yeah. That's the Motorola phones I'm looking at. Those 4. So yeah. But someone's telling me I'll probably go with the newer Motorola phones because they have 2 years of software updates. Well, I go with those, but I don't know. That's if I decide to go Motorola for a new phone. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Part 4 is coming up next, and part 4 is the iPhones. So peace.